Time for an arraignment and a detention hearing. Let's do
560 United States of America versus David Taylor.
time for.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sarah Cohen appearing on behalf of the United States.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Scott Rosenblum appearing for Pastor David Taylor.
Okay, good afternoon. Mr. Taylor, can you please approach and state your name for the record?
David Taylor.
Okay, thank you. Today is the date set and time for an arraignment and a detention hearing. Let's do the arraignment first. Mr. Taylor, did you get a copy of the indictment?
Yes.
Okay, you need to speak in the microphone.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay. I do have in front of me an acknowledgement, and it's signed by you and your lawyer. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And this document states what you have been charged with and the maximum penalties you could face if you are convicted or plead guilty. You've been charged in this indictment with count 1, conspiracy to commit forced labor in violation of 18 U.S.C. section 1594. That carries a potential maximum penalty of 20 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $250,000. Counts 2 through 9 charge you with a violation of 18 U.S.C. section 1589, which is forced labor. Each of those counts carries a potential maximum penalty of 20 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $250,000 on each count.
Give the gift of adventure at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
I lost $50,000 because I didn't buy a domain name. My advice, head to Wix.
You've also been charged in count 10 of this indictment with conspiracy to commit money laundering in violation of 18 U.S.C. section 1956. That also carries a potential maximum penalty of 20 years imprisonment, a fine of up to $500,000, or twice the value of the properties involved in the money laundering transactions. You also need to understand that the court could impose consecutive sentences if you are convicted of more than one count. Mr. Taylor, do you understand what you've been charged with in this indictment and the maximum penalties you could face?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel, are you ready to enter a plea?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll waive the formal reading of the indictment and enter a plea of not guilty to each count.
Okay. I will enter a plea of not guilty on each count, and the record will reflect that Mr. Taylor has now been arraigned on the indictment. So the next matter is the detention hearing. And before the government starts its proffer, I just want to put on the record that in advance of this, I've reviewed not only the indictment, but I've also reviewed the memorandum that the government filed in support of detention. I've also reviewed defendant's memorandum in opposition to detention that have been filed, as well as obviously the reports of pretrial services, both from this district and the one that was prepared in the district where he made his initial appearance. So just so you know what I have reviewed, and I am also familiar with the proceedings with the co-defendant. So go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. With that recognition by the court, the government's argument today and factual proffer will be limited. As the court is well aware, Taylor is charged with forced labor, and Congress requires a presumption of detention. This presumption reflects Congress's substantive judgment that particular classes of offenders should ordinarily be detained prior to trial, such as David Taylor. It is the government's argument that the defendant will not meet its burden of production. However, if the court finds otherwise, the government's argument today will focus on 3142 factors, beginning with the nature and circumstances of the charged offenses. According to the evidence presented to the grand jury and reviewed by this court, David Taylor was a self-proclaimed general of a very unusual and brutal regime. And he was, according to the evidence, a serial sadist. And that is no exaggeration. For 11 years, in 4 states, over a decade, he terrorized and traumatized workers with violence, threats of violence, sleep deprivation, medical deprivation, and food deprivation. Contrary to the defense brief, victims and witnesses will testify that David Taylor, defendant number 2, Michelle Brannon, and others in the organization, including some who are sitting in the courtroom today, assaulted others in the organization, including, to date, at least one minor who has come forward. Specifically, witnesses thus far who have been willing to come forward have reported that approximately 10 members who have assaulted other people within the organization. Because of the nature of the public proceeding, the government is not going to identify those people at this time, but there are approximately 10, again, including some seated in this courtroom today. Victims and witnesses will also testify that they were deprived of food, sleep, and medical care. Their testimony is corroborated overwhelmingly by Taylor's orders and threats to his victims that have been documented. For the record, the government is going to place some of those threats directly from Taylor into the record, notably with the times. Beginning on just one at 12:26 a.m., Taylor texted an armor bearer. As the court knows, an armor bearer is Taylor's personal slave. As follows: you'll have to raise $164,000 today. To clarify, the armor bearer was responsible for passing on that order to the workers. Each hour you will fall behind, consequences will start. We will mess with the food. You will fast from the regular food or abstain for a while. Those who do not push in their calls individually and as a team with the right amount of people and closing numbers at 6 p.m., they don't eat dinner at all. They might get a snack before bed, but not much, and this regiment will go on every day for 21 days until they obey. Take away the food. Exclamation point, exclamation point. There will be other consequences. We must make them fast and pray. Another one at 3:55 a.m. Taylor texted the same armor bearer. Those in the top 9 that don't do well will stay up and close, nor food. They will fast. At 3:52 a.m. on another date, Taylor texted his armor bearer. Let everyone know we have to raise at least $50,000 by 12 midnight if this happens. The top 9 and those who did well can rest, but the others who didn't will stay up until 4 a.m. and study notes, and they will wake up at 8 to 9. And if they don't do good the first 5 hours, they will not get lunch. On another date, 7:57 a.m., there is evidence of consequences when people are sleeping and are having a hard time waking up. He texts his armor bearer, pour water on everyone's faces that's halfway sleeping and not working. Wake them up now. My next level of judgment tomorrow is that it won't be just 4 a.m. It will be every hour you waste in the day will be added on past 4 a.m. In all capital letters, tell them all to stand now when you throw water on their faces. Later in the text, you tell them I don't care about them being sick. On another date at 3:23 a.m., Taylor texted to his armor bearer. I can't be kind to you letting you start later and sleep in. I can't be kind with none of you. You're all working until 4 a.m. Now, I don't care if you're tired. You've crossed the line. You're going to work all night and get up in the morning. In another text, Taylor texted a group of workers, you're not going to bed tonight until you raise $33,000. And as the court knows, the $33,000 and all the other money that Taylor is insisting being raised is not for the benefit of the community. It is for the benefit of David Taylor and Michelle Brannon. On another date at 1:44 a.m., Taylor texted a group of workers in capital letters, point blank, if you don't work, you can't eat. On another date, Taylor texted a group of workers, warning to the whole staff in capital letters, if you don't work and learn closing like we told you, then you won't eat. There are more. They are in the brief, and there are more in evidence. In addition to the threats that are corroborated by victims and witnesses, FBI agents are now investigating even more disturbing evidence, in addition to the forced labor. There's evidence now that Taylor coerced some female workers into providing masturbation videos and sexually explicit photographs to Taylor. The female members who have disclosed, and there are more in evidence. In addition to the threats that are corroborated by victims and witnesses, FBI agents are now investigating even more disturbing evidence, in addition to the forced labor. There's evidence now that Taylor coerced some female workers into providing masturbation videos and sexually explicit photographs to Taylor. The female members who have disclosed this to the government to date explain that Taylor demanded this material, that they were fearful of disobeying him, and they felt they had no choice but to send Taylor what he demanded from them. In addition, minors have come forward to the FBI. They have been recently interviewed. They have corroborated the forced labor scheme, including physical assaults. They have reported their own psychological and physical abuse and their own trauma during their involvement in Taylor's organization.
By Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay.
Or instructed by Mr. Taylor. The serious nature and circumstances of the charged forced labor, as well as the newly developing evidence, as well as the money laundering detailed in the government's brief, unquestionably weigh in favor of detention. Moving on to the weight of the evidence, the danger Taylor poses is particularly insidious. Congress, of course, recognized this danger in designating forced labor as a presumption of detention case. But there's more than just forced labor. Taylor faces a strong incentive to flee, particularly because of the sentencing guidelines and the statutory maximum penalty. Putting aside the 20-year maximum penalty for a moment, the government's initial estimated calculation for the forced labor charges is 151 to 188 months, and his guideline range for money laundering is similar, 151 to 188 months. It's important that we all understand that forced labor is not just about physical assaults and physical abuse. It is about the psychological trauma and coercion that occurs. And this was happening on a daily basis for over a decade. So to remove David Taylor from the organization is not enough. The fear persists for his victims, not just because he's physically removed. The psychological fear and the psychological trauma continues. The history and characteristics of the defendant. He has no employment outside KOGGC. He does not have significant family or community ties to this district. And while it is true that he has no prior criminal convictions, he has admitted publicly and in messages that he used to be a gangster in his teenage years, very bad in shootouts, etc. So apparently, prior to this forced labor sinister organization that he decided to start, he was involved with violent behavior. And then it's important that the court recognizes that he doesn't have any criminal convictions because he was engaging in a criminal enterprise that was extraordinarily sealed for the past 12 years. In addition to the lack of legitimate ties to this district, the government's financial investigation, which importantly remains ongoing, establishes that Taylor has numerous sources of funds to flee, as detailed in our brief. In addition, the government has just recently learned that Taylor has another source of funds. So this is a source that is not identified in the government's brief. He has an additional cashback debit card account that currently has $12,195.10 in it. And he has an online savings account that has $130,910.23 in it, and that is as of today's date. If the court has any questions about access to funds or the seizure of funds, Adriana Diadel, the chief of our office's Money Laundering and Asset Recovery Unit, is here to answer the court's questions.
Okay.
The government also pointed out in its brief that the funds will continue to grow based upon the conduct of people in the courtroom because they are actively soliciting additional funds. And the manner in which they are doing it is quite frightening. For example, in a broadcast recently, members of the organization stated, quote, "We're in a war. We're in a war, and it's time for you to decide if you're a warrior or you're not." Moving on to the nature and seriousness of the danger to any person or the community. In addition to the intimidating forced labor conspiracy that is discussed in great detail in the government's brief, as the government has noted, there's developing evidence that Taylor coerced women to provide him sexually explicit videos and pictures. His sexual predation alone makes him a danger to the community for several reasons. First, it is very apparent to investigators that Taylor has an excessive need for sexual gratification, and it will not be controlled with bond conditions. Because Taylor collected these sexually explicit materials electronically, this material may be in the possession of current members of the organization or former members, or may be stored by Taylor in unknown locations. Women remain fearful that Taylor or someone at his direction will distribute this very private, explicit, and sensitive material. As detailed in the government's brief, also, during Taylor's meetings and online broadcasts, he uses words like war and battle. He claims he's preparing soldiers. He calls himself a general. And he describes how he's training the end army. His members are entitled to protest, Your Honor. But as I speak here now, they're outside the courthouse. And that should be noted. They are carrying on their war message, even as I speak. It is important to note as well that one member of the organization who has been attending court proceedings did interfere with the government providing assistance to victims of this organization. Specifically, on August 27th, victim witness services were present in Tampa when the search warrant was executed. There were nonprofit organizations present as well. These were victim services personnel who were offering help to victims: food, medical care, a phone, whatever they needed. And there were victims who wanted the help. And a person within this organization, a high-level person, a person who admitted that he was number 3 in the organization, who is sitting in the courtroom today, came to that location and convinced those people to leave and not get help. That's the kind of organization that we're dealing with. In addition, Taylor himself and others at his direction have threatened, harassed, and stalked members, either at their indication that they wanted to leave the organization or after they left. Just recently, the government has received descriptions of people, from people, who want us to know the kind of harassing activity that occurs. So there are people out there that are very concerned about David Taylor being released into the community and the kind of harassing and stalking that will occur by him or anyone at his direction. So given Taylor's reign of terror over his victims, his leadership role, his loyal following, and now his sexual exploitation of women, In his evangelizing of violence and obstruction and defiance of law enforcement, Taylor would clearly be a danger to the community if released. Moving on to the recommendation by pretrial services. Pretrial services recommended bond. So at this time, I'm going to explain why the bond conditions are absolutely and wholly inappropriate. With regard to the bond address, the Ocala House is a formal location of the forced labor. The North Carolina address is where David Taylor was arrested. Contrary to his statements to pretrial services in North Carolina, he has been living at that location for approximately 5 years. There's an individual referenced in the pretrial services report. I can state his name on the record if the court wishes, but for now,
Well, if it's stated in the pretrial services report, I think it's fine. Go ahead.
Thank you. Paul Adom, A-D-O-M.
Right.
Taylor has referred to him as floor manager and stated that he is responsible for driving everyone and keeping order. He runs an organization called Kingdom Restoration for All Nations, which is in Durham, North Carolina. It is directly next to the house where Taylor was arrested. Adom's organization and Taylor's organization have been financially entwined. And I can get into the details if the court wishes, but suffice it to say that there is money going back and forth. And that money has been going back and forth for many years. Adom was in Houston, Texas when the search warrants were executed on August 27th. He was there with his wife, and they had a room. So they are both members of the organization. Moving on to another individual, Alyssa Billow is also known as Alyssa K. She was interviewed on August 27th. She said that the Edgewick house is Paul's house. And she also stated to law enforcement that that house was used to house male members of the organization when they came to North Carolina. It's also important to note that an apartment nearby that address is leased under defendant number 2's name, and it has been used to house female members when they travel to North Carolina. And specifically, 2 members of the organization were staying at that nearby apartment. Regarding the defendant's son, like defendant 2's son, is a member of the organization. In fact, his son is listed as director in KOGGC documents. So he is a member as well. I referenced Alyssa Billow, also known as Alyssa K, and her statements regarding the address in North Carolina, but with regard to her having contact with KOGGC, she is a member of the organization as well. Specifically, she's been living with Taylor, and she's been instructing his workers in the manner described by the government.
Rich homes, flashing all that chrome, diamonds on your phone, still dancing all alone. Lights up, body move, you flex that attitude. You are pussy rich homes. You a pussy rich homes. You a pussy rich homes. Hands up. Pussy rich homes. Pussy rich homes. Yeah. Rich homes. Rich homes. Rich homes.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Oh, this shit should be on Spotify. Chris Cobb's all, fuck Daniel Adams. He's all, that song's way dope. Yeah, Uncle Jake made that one, man. Yeah, he has fun with it. It's like David really fucked himself off on that one, didn't he? David really fucked himself off on that one. He never thought like we'd have so much fun with it, and we did, and we did. I wish he could see it. I wish David could see the shit that's been said about him, right in his face. Fucking funny, right? Oh man. Oh shit. When Uncle Jake showed that to me, I was like, yes. Yes. Yeah. It's good for you guys. It's good for you guys. Laughter is good, man. Laughter is good. Laughter is good for you in this. It really is. You guys went through a real traumatic experience. What we're going to talk about tonight is the fucking perverted Pontiff. Because he's always said, I'm the Pontiff. Yeah, you fucking perv. He's all, don't tell anybody that I'm a fucking pervert, though, okay? You know, I didn't collect 40,000 images for nothing. I was going for a fucking world record, okay? I was going for the world record. I was going to collect the most images from anybody. I was going for Guinness World Record, okay? I was going to call Guinness World Records when I had over 1 million pictures, and I was going to see if I could get the Guinness World Records. I just didn't know if you had done music yet, Uncle Jake. I'm highly impressed, though. It's like, oh man. All right, so where do we start with David? Fuck. I mean, everything about David is perverted. It really is. Sexually, theologically, financially, his thought process, everything about this guy is perverted. Okay? Everything. And the cult members, if you guys are watching, call in. Drop a text. You want to call in? Anybody want to call in too? This line's always open when we're live. You guys know that. All right? This line's open when we're live, and I want people to know that. If maybe you're a family member and you've been wanting to call in and get a message out to somebody, but you just don't know how, they listen. They listen. We want you guys to know that. I know they listen. Huh? I don't have I don't have anything playing right now, Doc. Nothing's playing right now. We're just gonna do kind of a chat tonight and talk about how just perverted of a shit stain David was. We talked about it earlier, Doc. We were on the phone earlier, man, and just what David's done to these people, man. What he's done. Horrible. Fucking horrible. And me and Doc were talking about this. He's gotten away with this for so long. He thought he would never get away with it. And it finally fucking caught up to him. It finally caught up to him. I mean, look, this is one of the last pictures we have of David E. Taylor. Except the other one from when he got up north. But this is probably by far one of the best last pictures we're probably ever going to have of David. And it's very comforting to know. I know. Nah, I hope David never gets out. He fucking deserves to be where he's at. David was a sick individual. He still is. David still is a sick individual. And something I was showing yesterday, how fucked up he was. David could have, okay? David could have he could have cleaned up his act, you guys. Find this. That's not it. There it is. All right. This is how shithead of a David, how much of a shithead David was. All right. So we're talking yesterday, a week up to the raid. A week prior to the raid, David was still sending out real demanding orders to everybody. He was still being a complete asshole to everybody. And we have proof of it. He could have, but yeah. And Dave Rich, he could have cleaned his act up after that first deposition. He's like, fuck, man, I better clean my shit up or this isn't going to go well. And it didn't. Right. And this is how much of a fucking just David's, again, everything about David's theology is perverted. It really is. His whole life has been a state of perversion, all the way from fucking when he was sleeping with Barbie dolls, you guys. Like, how much more of a fucking perv how much more proof do we need to show the world that David E. Taylor is a fucking true perv? He's a fucking pervert. He sleeping with Barbie dolls. That tells me everything I need to know right there about the guy. Sleeping with Barbie dolls. No wonder he was always talking about guys wearing panties and stuff because he was sleeping with Barbie dolls. He's I don't want anybody to know my little secret. But hey, let me go ahead and put it in a book and let everybody know that I slept with Barbie dolls as a kid. Okay. Didn't give Barbie a chance. She never had a voice in any of it. Then as he goes on in life, like not being checked for his fucking behavior, it just gets worse and worse. I'm still trying to wonder and figure out how fucking just fucked up David has left people in his path. I think there's more than what we know on the surface. David's been doing this for a long time. David's been doing this for a long time. And he got really good at it. And he hurt a lot of people. And the women in this, again, the ladies that are getting out, if you need help, there's help. Okay? There's help for you. You don't have to ask for it. Well, you just ask for it. That's all you need to do. And the men, same thing. We know David's a fucking perv. I know how he talks to you guys. And that's no way for a pastor to be talking to you guys. Like, keeping you guys from having healthy, functioning relationships with women is not a good thing. It's very unhealthy. And again, David was out there sleeping with all these women, and you guys were okay with that. Like, David was literally out being a fucking perv. The perverted pontiff. Like, James O'Connor, do you think these 40,000 explicit images is just a mistake? Nate Plaster, what do you guys think? Just a mistake, or were they planted? Is this all mine and Rick Fraser's fault, these 40,000 images? Are we the perverts in this, or is David? Because they were found on his iCloud. I certainly don't have access to his iCloud. I certainly don't. I don't think any other cult members do. Do you? Do any of the cult members have access to his iCloud? I would think not, because if they did, they'd be like, this guy's fucking psycho. They would see all the photos that David was taking of all the women or having the women sent to him. Here's how the court even brought out the Bible, saying he's a terrible wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, he was horrible at it, and he used his phones to hide his wolf side. I loved how she said that. Taylor could hide his wolf in his phones, but with the assistance and cooperation of victims and witnesses, his phones and now additional witnesses started to reveal everything about him. Yeah, he's a fucking sleazeball, right, Soups? Yeah, David Taylor. The man, David Taylor, he's a fucking sleazeball. He is. He's fucking sleazy. Yes. He's a fucking sleazy fucking con artist. That's the best way to put it about him. He's a sleazeball, right, Soups? Sleaze puppet.
Today, and in her brief, she serves Taylor much like an armor bearer does, but she's female, so I will leave it at that. She also has control over Taylor's personal accounts and assets. Another individual in the courtroom, and also suggested by pretrial services, to take care of David Taylor is his armor bearer. As we describe in our briefing, an armor bearer is Taylor's 24/7 servant. And for the record, 2 other armor bearers are victims in counts 8 and 9 of the indictment. They do whatever Taylor orders them to do. That's their job. And that's what they've been trained to do.
Imagine serving this guy 24/7. Seriously, guys. Members of this cult, you guys serve this guy still? I mean, come on, ladies, get out of there. Come on, man. Y'all got to give it up. You guys, seriously, 24/7. Hey, Oakland made. We're talking about how much of a perv David was. The perverted Pontiff. He always talked about being a pontiff, but we didn't know how much of a fucking perv he was until all the text messages and shit came out. Yeah, Cliff was an armor bearer. Yeah, that's what they call it. Well, and that's, you know, Justin, that's something that's really important in this, brother, is the vocabulary in this, right? They use vocabulary like that to mask the situation. Like, no, these guys were literally being fucking worked as slave labor. Oh, but they're armor bearers. See, that they did it because they were doing it for God. No, fuck that. It's just you're masking fucking slave labor. Stupid. That's what David was counting on. Oh, we'll just say, oh, they're armor bearers. The prosecution knows that vocabulary is used in order to mask the actual crimes. So they're onto it.
And this has included over the years everything, literally everything, including transporting women to have sex with David Taylor and to give the women Plan B contraceptives.
Right there, too. That whole fucking plan right there, that's a fucking pervert right there. That's fucked up. Like, what if these women didn't want to have an abortion? What if they didn't want to take Plan B? What if they wanted to have a kid and David's fucking forcing them to take Plan B because he didn't want to fucking put a condom on? Like, what? Like, he was fucking... Hit that like there's 56 people in here. Yep, perverted Pontiff, man. That's what we're talking about tonight. The Pontiff perv, yeah. The Pontiff of perversion, man. This guy right here, David Taylor. And Soups, you know how long we stood out on the roof saying this for, too? A long time, man. A long time. We knew we had only... Soups, we knew the tip of the iceberg. We only knew the tip of the iceberg. We kept saying that. Even the homie Thice over in Europe and fucking Holland. That's my homie, man. Brother Thice. He's like, bro, we only know the tip of the iceberg with David. Always will. I don't think we'll ever know the true depths of the fucking debauchery and how fucked up David truly is in this. I think some of the stuff that's going to come out eventually, like they won't even be able to take it to trial because it's going to be so bad. The Pingo pervert. Freedom and truth. I know the Pingo perv. Oh, yeah. Definitely a fiend. This goes beyond a fiend, though, Frank. Frank, this goes beyond a fiend, my man. Dude, when you, like, amass that many images, brother, fuck, like, that's just... Dude, that's just... I mean... How do you do that? Like, how do you do that, man? Like, that blows my mind to this day. We all only knew the tip of the iceberg for his films. That's all right, Soups. I know he did. I know he did because he didn't want you guys knowing what the fuck I was up to. I know. That was all part of his plan. That was all part of his plan. That was there's 4 things cult experts say you need to control in order to be like a cult leader. You need to control the behavior, the information, the thought, and the emotion. So David not letting you guys out while I was there, that's the information control. Yeah, and it even says explicit images and likely over 10,000 videos. I mean, Jesus Christ. Talk about, this goes beyond a fiend. This goes beyond a fiend. This is a compulsion. This man's a deviant, and he's got like the prosecutor was saying. Let's keep listening.
Gwen also has knowledge of Taylor's accounts and assets, and he corresponds with other members daily on behalf of Taylor.
Today, let's play a game.
Negative, Ghostwriter.
Notably, as pointed out in the government's brief, but I'll highlight some additional.
And Megan, there's even evidence that David said he would use him for blackmail, so there's that.
Inaccuracies in the pretrial services report. And these inaccuracies are the result of David Taylor's lies to pretrial services. He has never been an honest person. We know that from the criminal activity. But when faced with court proceedings and the serious nature of court proceedings, he couldn't be honest with pretrial services. He stated that he was living in St. Louis when he wasn't. He's been in North Carolina for many years. Daniel Gwynn has been Taylor's armor bearer, not merely a caretaker or a friend. Notably, David Taylor told pretrial services that he was with KOGGC for a specific amount of time, but as described in the government's brief, before KOGGC, Taylor ran JMMI, and he has run both of those organizations for much longer than the mere 8 years that he admitted to pretrial services. And notably, one of the reasons he changed the name is because JMMI lost its nonprofit status. I'm not sure why David Taylor left out additional international travel. Of course, lacking a passport will prevent international travel, but again, just pointing out his dishonesty that he does not admit to all of his international travel. And of course, his financial disclosure is far from accurate based upon the sources of funds to flee that's highlighted in the government's brief, and notably the additional money that the government was notified of today. David Taylor told pretrial services that he merely had one personal checking account with a very minimal amount of money in it. But as described in the government's brief and today, David Taylor has access to a wide range of different funds. And as in any complicated and purposeful hiding of assets, there will be additional sources that the government has not yet located. And again, Adrienne.
I love how this guy just can't fucking be honest either. He can literally not tell the fucking truth about anything in his life, even when his own freedom is on the fucking line. Like, dude, if I was sitting before a federal trial and I was about to and I was going before the officers of the court, I'd be as honest as I could with them, because that's what the court wants, is honesty and trust. Once again, he couldn't even tell the truth when it mattered most. He had to beat around the fucking bush. Oh, well, I just don't have that kind of money. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, you sure about that, Mr. Taylor? Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. Well, maybe, I don't know. You might have to check here, but I'm not too sure about that. I could see David answering questions like that, being a real shithead about it. No, they don't. Fuck no, they don't like liars. Hell no. No, especially when you're lying to the pretrial services, because the pretrial service officer works for the judge. Yeah, he doesn't even know what the truth is at this point. He's been lying for so many years. Yeah. Exactly, Frank. And this judge didn't like that. And this is all part of how David's a fucking pervert, man. He perverts everything about him. The truth. That's the biggest fucking thing he perverts, is the fucking truth. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a 5% chance to maybe get 15 years instead of 40 years, you might want to be honest. Yeah. Makes a big difference in that, because, again, you're also lying to the jury, because they're taking this to the jury. Everything. They take all this. 7 years for image or video. Minimum per child count in America is 7 years for image. The minimum. Yeah. That minimum. Yeah. It's like there's the minimum. Yeah, that's the minimum, right? That's the minimum they can give you is 7 years. The max they can give you is up to life. Okay. So yeah, just don't do it. Among the Ashes is right. Yep. 7 years. The minimum is 7 up to life. Okay. Depends on who the judge is.
Adidal can just.
And again, the 40,000 images in this, you guys, they call it one for the road. Well, they aren't going to let him out. He's too much of a danger to the community. He's too much of a danger. Look, he was going to kick people out on the street the week before he got raided, dude. We were just saying, David could have changed his ways, but he didn't. Because he's too much of a fucking asshole. The perverted Pontiff. Week before. Exactly. You hardly see a case with such a diversity of charges. You have money laundering, forced labor, and now we have a prosecutor that specializes in human trafficking. Hit the fucking trifecta with this one, and it's everything we said he was doing. Money laundering, forced labor, and human trafficking. Everything fell in place. And this is how much of a fucking asswipe David was, man. We knew. We fucking put, you guys, we applied the government standards. We didn't go outside of anybody else's outline. Hey, what's the government standard for human trafficking? Let's go ahead and look at it. Oh, well, shit. Here's the outline. Bam. Okay, let's start applying these. I worked with a guy who's arrested child porn 4 counts. He held his innocence, ended up 2-year investigation. 128 counts. So yeah. And again, this is all part of David fucking being a perverted Pontiff, moving people around for his benefit to make money. Piece of shit, man, this guy was. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about this is God is still going to love David. Exactly. Yep. He's not going to like really probably agree with him too much on what he did, but yeah. He's definitely not going to be too thrilled about what he did. The fuck you do to all these people, man? The fuck, asshole. But I don't think David's going to repent about any of it. He has no reason to. Yeah. Anybody that's left inside this cult, you guys should leave. You really should. And call the human trafficking hotline like we've been saying and tell them you need help. They'll come help you. No questions asked. And they couldn't. You're right, Justin. The victims inside couldn't leave because they didn't have anything to leave with. They didn't have money. They didn't have a cell phone. They didn't have a car. I know this is a fact. When people went there with cars, guess what? The cult drove them into the ground until you couldn't fix them anymore. So people that went there with cars, guess what? They don't have cars anymore. And the survivors will tell you that. Yep, fucked everybody's car up. Everybody but their own. They would drive everybody else's fucking car into the ground. Except David's. Well, no, even David's cars got driven into the ground.
Discuss that with the court if the court wishes. And the last thing to note for the record, as I'm sure this court is aware, is that although defendant number 2 is on bond, her condition imposed by Judge Berg was that she have
Hey, good evening, Aaron. How you doing, brother?
Absolutely no contact with any individuals, former or current.
Yeah, the survivors of this cult, guess what? The feds have money. They'll help you. Let me tell you something, though, for real. The feds, I would go, if you guys really do need help, listen, for real, listen to me, please. Just listen, all right? Because we've talked to resources in this. For the most part, the feds, they have a different agenda, okay? They have different agendas, all right? The feds do. If you need help out of this organization, you don't know what to do, all right? It's really easy. I'll show you guys. And you could do this if you need to sneak away, I get it. But this is how you do it. You can call 911 first of all. That's first of all. But you can also call the human trafficking hotline, okay? It's really easy. There's the number right there. It's 1-888-373-7888, or you can text 23373, or you can chat. Okay. These people will help. The national human trafficking hotline, these people will help. This is who you want to go to, okay? These guys, because they're I don't know if they're backed by the feds, but they get a lot of their funding from the feds. Okay. So they get a lot of help in donations, volunteer work, shit like that. But this would be your best bet if you're ever in an organization like this. You don't know how to get up. Human trafficking hotline. This would be my recommendation to you, because the FBI, they're going to take your story. But if you really do need help out, you could either call 911. Yeah, and these people, you make a good point there, Frank. These people will protect you. Absolutely right. These people will protect you right here. They'll put you in programs to where nobody can fucking fuck with you. These people will pretty much wipe your prior existence clean, so nobody knows who you are. That's what these people are good at, protecting the victims that have been forced into human trafficking and forced labor, like David's operation. They're very good at what they do. There's people waiting. These people are fucking waiting to do their job. Let me tell you that right now. These people are sitting there waiting to do their job. They have the money, they have the resources, and they are waiting to do their job, because this is such a hot fucking item right now. Human trafficking, it's worth more than drugs, and it's more lucrative. Okay. If you need help, I would say call these guys right here. Let's take a peek what resources there are. There's ones for runaway and homeless youth training, office for victims of crime and training technical assistance. No, he would have, if David would have pulled the insanity card, it would have been done already. Yeah, exactly. Like Frank's saying, you guys, they'll fucking wipe your name off the internet, man. They'll make your name disappear off the internet, so nobody ever knew. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. They'll let other people go. You're right, Daniela. They'll let smaller people go so they could fry the bigger fish. Yes. Yeah. David's the one they want. He's the one they want. Michelle, she's collateral damage, but she's just as fucking guilty as everybody else. But CS, I don't think he can play the insanity card at any. No, he knows he wants to go to court. So how is he going to play the insanity card? If he was going to play the insanity card, I mean, he'd have to defend collecting all these photos, 40,000 explicit images. Like, he would have to defend that somehow. He would also have to defend sending out text messages about sending people out to live on the street if they didn't make him enough money at 3:20 in the morning a week before he got busted. So as far as him pleading insanity, nope. There's no way. There is no fucking way. Yeah, he's a general, all right, huh? General Gooch Grease, right, Aaron? Right? General Gooch Grease. I know. It makes me like, hey, David, heard you was a chef. Cook me a grilled cheese. Make me a grilled cheese, bitch. Yeah, he's the perverted Pontiff, Aaron. Yeah, there are enough cults even worshiping dead generals. Yeah. I don't worship anybody. If I was going to worship somebody, it'd be like fucking, like, I don't know, David Hasselhoff or some shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. So this, with the human trafficking, right? I knew they were going to have to bring a specialist on, because it was all there. Everything was there. Like, this was the big one, right? The prosecutor said, hey, when we were in Florida, Joseph showed up and fucking told people not to get help. And that falls under human trafficking. Yeah, he's going to be the prison chef now. Yep. David will be the head prison bitch chef. Except he's going to be trying to eat all the food. Nah, Among the Ashes, he ain't gonna take the easy way out. He wants to go to court, dude. And you know, Among the Ashes, they'll get all the way to court the day before trial, the day of trial. 20 minutes before the trial starts, they'll make a deal. Bam, we made a deal. We made a deal. He pled. He's taken the charges. But I don't think David wants to do that. Yeah. Joseph also went straight to the bank to try to get money out the day of the raid. I better go get some money out. Nope, sorry, seized. David, you know, it's still too early to say, you guys. It really is. It's too early to say what David's gonna get. It's still a very fluid case right now. And the government hasn't even split the trial. David's going to get time. He's going to get a lot of fucking time. I know that. Michelle will get 10 to 15. Michelle will get 10 to 15 and 7 on good time, right? If she's lucky. But David, dude, he's the head of this operation. Nah, they're going to make an example out of him. They will make an example out of him. Taxes are coming up too, Frank. The taxes are coming up, so they got that. The cult members are going to have to pay the taxes on all the properties. So, I mean, they don't have any access to the bank accounts now. All the assets were seized. All the finances were seized, like the money. Yeah, David's going to get time. Michelle, she'll get 10 to 15. I could see Michelle getting off on 10 years. Doing fucking 4 with good time, 3 or 4 with good time. Anything over a 20-year sentence with David Among the Ashes is a life sentence for him. Absolutely. The judge would make that an order. Yeah, even while she's doing her time, even while she's serving her time, the judge can make that an order. You are not to contact any witnesses or survivors from this organization ever again. And there's the Son of Sam law, right? There's a Son of Sam law. So if you don't know what it is, say David got out and wanted to make money on a book, the judge can enact a rule. It's called the Son of Sam law, where he can't make any money off of it. So there's a lot of things that could happen right now, man. He's going to drain on the system. His lawyers will use his health to keep years down. Yeah. Rich going to visit David in prison like Hannibal Lecter. Well, and you know, Among the Ashes, he's already trying to do that. And they're going to use his health as an excuse. It's like, no, he's fine. Even the judge said, I've talked to the marshals and they said he's fine. He has nothing to come home to. His parents passed away. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. David has nothing now. When he gets out of this, after his time served, if he makes it through, he'll come out with nothing. He'll come out with nothing. He'll be like Frank from fucking, what was it? American Gangster, where he just got out of jail and nobody was there for him. He just fucking hanging out on the fucking side of the street out of the jail. Just fucking standing there all old and shit. Nobody there to do the work for him. Just fucking by himself. Well, David sure as shit didn't care about the quality of life for other people. I hope the judge looks at him like that. Well, Mr. Taylor sure didn't care about the quality of life for his members, so why Why do I care about his quality of life? Aaron Olson, let's be real, David would never do an interview with me. Oh, man. I know I should just show up on him one day. I should just show up on him one day and sign in as like as a reporter. And he just shows up and it's me. He just shows up and it's me. Oh, man. Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, fuck, he was already in Shutaway too, right? Yeah, that's just bullshit. Oh, a newspaper article about his dad. So fucking what? His dad's dead. What does that have to do with David? That's what I say. Oh, it's a newspaper article. I saw it too, but it has nothing to do with David. But his broken, fragile ego won't let that happen, even if he is found guilty. Yeah. Yeah, and the jury, I hope they see right through him. Why should they care about him? He didn't care about the members, and they're going to see through that asshole. They'll be like, dude, you didn't care about your members. That's very clear. That's very, very clear that you didn't care about your members. Instead of padded cell, it's going to be a maxi padded cell. It's going to just be like oversized maxi pads on the wall. Yeah. I mean, he's still in Shutaway. He's just not having sex with women and eating like a king. Hey, you know what? Among the Ashes, I think the judge is going to see that as more and more evidence comes out. He's going to be like, nope. I think the judge is going to listen once we find out what Michelle did and why she got rearrested. You guys, we're still trying to figure out what happened, okay? We don't know yet. We're still waiting. Yeah, there's that. Okay. I know she violated her bond. What the feds are doing about it right now, I have no fucking clue. And back to Among the Ashes, it's right. He's right. If he gets out with little to no jail time, he'll just go right back to scamming. Yep. Yeah, he got denied. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the judge took the recommendation under advisement. They could put him on a watch list. Absolutely. They could ban him. They could be like, you can never do this again. You can never start up an organization like this again, ever. Well, Megan, a little bird flew on my shoulder just before Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, a little bit after, about a week or two ago, and sent me some stuff that, yeah, it looked like she got rearrested. We just haven't seen anything on the docket yet. I know personally from my sources that she did violate her bond. So Michelle violated her bond. To what extent? I don't know. I know I can say for sure, no doubt, she was trying to either directly or indirectly contact the cult on Facebook. So there's one bond violation. What she was doing, some of you brought up telling people to delete evidence, move money around. I could see her doing that. That would be worst case scenario, honestly. Her getting out and telling the cult members to destroy evidence. Yeah. Oh, I know she was in touch with members. Yeah. Because her son is still there. And the judge put a bond condition on her. Your son could be, you can have one or the other. You can have one or the other, but you can't have both. Okay? He told Michelle that. You can have no contact. I know, be like, I'm rich, bitch. No, Jeff, I'm gonna be like, I'm the pussy, Rich Holmes. Okay, I'm the pussy. President accounted for. Exactly. That's where I'm at. I hope the judge shuts it down and orders restitution. That way they can't benefit from it. Yes. That's what needs to happen. Stalk and harass individuals. Okay. Okay. Be like, my name's Rich and I'm a pussy. Did you get that on the record, Your Honor? Yeah, even though even though inmates have access to some of the better healthcare than anybody, they still have problems. Okay, now the judge told Michelle. Okay, here's about her son, okay? I'm not going to prevent from continuing, as I've said before. However, in my view, whoever wants to continuing to associate with Ms. Brennan needs to sever the relationship with this organization. And that reason that I say that is because if they don't do that, they're going to run the risk that Ms. Brennan will either intentionally or inadvertently violate her conditions by communicating with individuals in that organization. I did want to, for a moment, talk to Mr. Sonoa. Not this time. Okay, good. And she answers right here. All right. So, once again, second lose damage on the third level. Actually, since you're no, El Murray, they knew it was all a scam. They knew it was all a scam. They knew it was all a scam. So Michelle also, if her son's in the cult, yeah, that's kind of a slippery slope. But she can't be communicating with him if he's in the cult, and she is not supposed to be communicating. He has to, again, the whole fucking perversion of this fucking, like, the whole David perverted everybody's thought process. Oh, you know what? I have candies. Thanks, Megan. I have these little fucking candies. I get them off Amazon. They're so good. There we go. That's better. Yeah, David's lazy walrus ass will be 600 pounds. So yeah, Michelle, she knows she's not supposed to be associating. But no, anybody associated with this, within the top 5 ranks, they knew. Michelle got taken advantage of too. Michelle got taken advantage of big time. Whether or not she knew it, or I don't know. With Michelle, I still think David was just paying to keep her quiet. I think David was just paying to keep her quiet because he knew if he pissed her off, it would have been game over. Because Michelle Brannon, defendant Brannon, had the true keys to the kingdom. She knew all the ins and outs of David's bullshit, with the exception of some of the shit that might be coming out later in trial, but we'll see about that. No victims. And I know for a fact, you cult members, let me tell you something. I know who you're contacting. You better fucking cut the crap. I know. Don't be trying to contact these survivors. Katie Chena. Yeah, Katie. Yeah, Soups, weren't you telling me that Michelle's the Bentley she called BLM? If they got 3 Mercedes and a Bentley. Yep, she called her Bentley BLM. Black Lives Matter. That's what kind of fucking dumb shit Michelle was. Yeah, they're going to do One Night with the King when David's in fucking jail. Yeah, how's that going to work out? Oh, look, Apostle Taylor, he's coming out for One Night with the King. Where the fuck did he get the keys to the jail cell or what? Hit that like too. Let me know y'all here. Phone line's open too, man. Anybody want to call in? You guys know that. This is always an open phone line, man. Once again, I can't point out enough that this was a dangerous man, and we only knew the tip of the iceberg. Oh, yeah. That's how they do it, El Marie. Mm-hmm. That's how they do it. They may have to change the title to 20 Years with the Perv. Right, Soups? Exactly. They're running the church because they're like, oh, God's going to deliver him from prison just like Apostle Paul. Not going to happen. I'm sorry.
In the organization, and none of the funds can support her manner of living in any way. So that the recommendation of pretrial services in this case doesn't even match defendant number 2's bond conditions. Of course, it is the government's position, as discussed in the brief and today, that absolutely no condition of bond is appropriate in this case, and the defendant should be detained.
Thank you. Counsel.
Thank you. May it please the court, Your Honor. I'm trying to... Conditions are a combination of conditions that will satisfy this court that he's not a threat to leave, that he'll be here to defend himself, and he's...
Yeah, Paul and Silas weren't being fucking debaucherous fucking clowns like David was. Right, Soups? I'm pretty sure Paul and Silas weren't collecting 40,000 images of all these women to fucking just like beat their fucking wieners to, you know? And that's what David was doing. He was literally collecting pictures. Oh, you did? Got you. I got you, Tyler Durden. Hang on, let me get you dialed in here, brother. I got you, bro. I'll call you right back, man. Thanks for letting me know. It helps if you guys drop a text in first. That typically helps for whatever reason. Google Voice doesn't pick up phone calls, man. I got you, Tyler. Give me a second here, brother. Let me get you rung in here, my guy. All right, Tyler Durden. We're going to get Tyler Durden on the call. So, hey, Rich. Tyler, trying to call in. Coming from 916, Tyler. Let me get you rung in here, my guy. Tyler, you there?
Got me? You got me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Take it away, man. It's all you.
Okay, good deal. Am I on? Can you? Okay.
Yeah, turn your background down, though.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good, brother.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, definitely. Loud and clear, man. Take it away, bro. You got it.
Okay, good deal. Well, first and foremost, I appreciate all the hard work you've done for years on in with this. I don't know how it caught it came across my YouTube one night. I do it like late at night. I was good on YouTube, just kind of decompress with stuff with work, and I came across this, and I'm like, I can't stand these fraudulent pastors. We kind of got caught in to a pastor that was like that. Me and my family were kind of checking out some places, so I just can't stand this stuff. And so got in, checking out, watching videos, and your stuff was so thorough. I mean, you and Jeff Morton, and I'm not sure, is there a Frazier guy? Who was the other one that was listed as Rick Frazier?
Rick Frazier was the one that deposed David, that ultimately put the deposition up on YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't, I'm starting to kind of learn as we go, and I guess the latest, and I check in as much as I can with you, but I see where we believe that Michelle has been apprehended again.
I firmly believe she has. I do. We just haven't seen the proof of it yet. Because my sources,
10-4.
yeah, because the sources that are in this, some of them have a lot more information than I do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and you're doing the best you can with every resource you have. I mean, this is like a full-time deal for you.
Yeah.
those are we got 46 in the box. We got 28 likes. Let's get those likes up, guys. I mean, everybody's sitting around here, listening to all this footage or whatnot. I just hit the like button. I mean, come on. It's not asking much. I mean, the time that Rich is putting in this is great. I mean, we're all obviously tuned in and wanting to see a conviction here. What sucks is, I think it's good that it's federal because you got to do, I believe, 85% of your time, but we don't get to watch anything.
No.
Unless you pack up and drive to Michigan, just sit in the courts. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That sucks. And I mean, that's the one thing I hate about the federal stuff is you can't set up. That's like the Murdaugh trial.
Yep.
Everybody was on that. I mean, that was, murder, his wife and his kids and whatnot.
But that was a state.
This go down.
That was a state trial.
Yeah, that was a state. That was a state case. Yeah.
Had David
But
not
if it wasn't for you, a lot of people, all these people on here, we got 47 in the box. If it wasn't for you, a lot of us wouldn't be in the know. Period.
Yeah.
So you guys keep going. Not to mention all that for the entertainment, but you're also helping those that's been affected. So kudos to you and whomever you have behind the scenes that's helping you with this. It's such a shame. So you got one hand, you want to see them go down. Obviously, they've been convicted. There's charges going in place, but those families that he's affected, shame on you.
We'll never know.
Shame on you.
You know what, bro? I don't think we'll ever know the true depth and magnitude of the damage that David has truly done to people.
Yep.
I don't.
Exactly.
Not in this lifetime.
Yeah, this is just next level, man. I've never seen such. I mean, we've heard about the David Koreshes and the Warren Jeffs and all these other kind of stuff, but I mean, this is right with them in a sense. Why bringing God into it? I don't go around here preaching the gospel or whatnot.
Yeah.
My grandparents raised me. There was a Bible on the end table. They were Southern Baptists, but we didn't go to church on a regular. But I struggled with addiction, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was homeless at one time.
Yeah.
And I had to hit my knees. I don't go behind a pulpit and preach to people. I had my own walk in this thing.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the higher power with me, I wouldn't be on the phone with you today, bro. So when you got people like him that's, chasing the monies and this, that, and the other, and womenizing and all this, I'm like, seriously, bro?
Yeah.
He knows a little bit of the word. We hear it. He knows a little bit of the word. But if you know as much as he does, how are you going to bring God into it, bro? Go come up with another little scheme,
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid. I mean, who am I to judge? But, at the end of the day, you kind of got to believe in a little something, right? I mean, and nothing else. If nothing else, regardless if one's a believer or not a believer, just the way this world's created.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call it what a man sows, that shall also reap. You want to call it karma, whatever you want to call it. You just don't do people that way.
No.
You do what's right because it's right. I mean, my Lord, that's why I tune into your stuff, man. I'm just blown away every time. I'm like, let's see what else ones find out. And I just can't say enough about the time that you've invested and to help however many people you've helped. But you've been doing this since 2015, or if not before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I want to watch some videos.
No, I've only been doing this since like 2021, dude.
What?
Yeah.
I could have maybe it was when he got with some of those videos. Remember some of the videos where he got that, was it the judge or whatnot, the lady that was interviewing him?
That's a
You had him
depo.
play it earlier this week.
Yep, that was
The
the deposition.
deposition. There
That's
you
where it
go.
all
Thank you.
started, bro.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's ultimately why we're all here. The fucking deposition.
How could these people, bro? how could they drink the Kool-Aid that long? I mean, I get up Sunday morning, I drink a cup of coffee, I turn it on, and they got his live services going. Of course, they got some lady up there singing her songs and giving a word or whatnot. But I'm looking, we had 78 people in the box, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. People probably.
And I'll chime in little nuggets like, people, this is not real. Please don't buy into the fraud. Just little things. And of course, it gets erased. I was so upset one night, Rich. I called that 1-800 number. I'm laying in bed watching a video. I was so pissed. I dialed this 1-800 number. Who you calling? I was like, nobody. I went in the other room. I had to leave a voicemail though. They wanted me to leave a voicemail. And they probably work a 9 to 5 gig, right? Those
No, fuck no. They
drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, they're screening calls. You leave a message and then they screen you and then they call you back.
Okay.
Yep.
I was so pissed, bro. I think it was Jeff Morton. Jeff Morton got like 3 videos up, and it was the one where the cops came and he was standing out front.
Yep.
Oh, it was just boiling, bro. I'm like, this mother. I just started to call him. What are you doing on the phone? I just wanted to see if they were going to answer. Of course, it went to the voicemail, like I said, but it's just, man, you can't script this stuff, bro.
No, you can't.
Gosh, it goes so deep.
I was talking to Doc Nick about this today, and he was like, Rich, I got a chance to sit down and actually listen to that entire interview with Cliff. And he's like, I've only ever listened to say a little portion of it and just the part about the maxi pads. He's like, dude, I finally sat down and listened to that whole interview. And he was like, holy shit, it's worse than I ever thought. I was like, dude, those interviews, if anybody's curious, if you have questions, go listen to the interviews. If you sit at a desk at work for fucking 8 hours, let me tell you something. Just sit there and listen to the interviews while you work, okay? If you can.
Oh, yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, I'll sit there. Man, I've watched everyone that's been posted, man.
Have you
I'll
watched?
tell you what really got me is, which one?
Have you listened to all the interviews from the survivors?
There was a couple. As a matter of fact, I looked on their Facebook. And there's one gal, gosh, I can't think of her name, but her stuff's still on Facebook.
Yeah.
And she still has some previous stuff. What's the one guy that recently, clean cut guy, kind of blondish hair, came out and talked about how Paul Foster had affected his life? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let me see here, because
I can't
there's
think
only
of his name off here. Remember the one guy who's on Facebook? Kind of younger guy.
No, I can't
say younger.
dude,
He's probably mid-30s.
No. I'm not too much
And
on
then
Facebook.
Joseph. So there we got Joseph. Who's this Steve guy that gets up there?
Oh, Steve, that's
You know what I'm talking about?
that's one of David's fucking cronies, man. Unfortunately, that's one of his other just go-to guys. That's one of his crony guys right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joseph, he's the number 3 in all this ring or what have you.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. When he came out there, when Jeff Morton was out there, and then some other dude came out there talking shit. And gosh, I was sitting there boiling, dude, watching that video. I'm like, man, I wish I was there. He was such a punk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Jeff's there for the good cause of stuff. He was such a punk, man. He came out there, and then of course Joseph, and then they sent some other fellow out there, African American guy, and Jeff shut him down with facts. Jeff was cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Which was good. Basically, telling the guy basically, okay, if you touch me, I got it on video.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. But man, it's just how he got people on the Kool-Aid. It's just it blows my mind. Another thing I was going to ask you about, and I've commented this in your. So it talked about he had a bunch of ATVs, right?
Yep.
His fat ass ain't gonna be riding no ATV.
No, it was for his members. Because the morale, you got to think about this. Think of how many times morale dropped inside this cult, right? So one of the homies hit me up. He's all, dude, I was in a cult, and that they would do that type of shit, like take us out on outings or buy us really nice gifts to boost morale, because he's like, dude, sometimes morale got really low.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
I think he
And,
used
and,
it.
and when they rate, gotcha, that makes sense. When they raided the home in Florida, He's got all those Mercedes. I don't know if there was a Bentley or whatnot. Got the ribbons on them, bro.
Yeah. And they weren't even brand new.
I mean, what the?
I found out they weren't even brand new.
Okay.
No, some of those cars were like fucking 2016s, 2017s, you know, like older Mercedes. Like they weren't even brand new, bro. And what I found out too. What up?
Yeah, was that one there? Was that one that they had members living in? What was going on at that one in particular? Do you know?
Where, in Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh shit, they were fucking dude. That was a call center, bro.
Okay, it was a call center. Okay.
Michelle was found there with 40 fucking people running a call center, bro.
Okay, that was close. Okay, that was one. Hell, he had like 3 or 4 places around. I mean, my Lord, I mean, how many people are going to drink that Kool-Aid, not intervene, especially since 2015?
Yeah.
I mean, just watching that deposition video, man, when I first came across your stuff and watched that deposition video, when he started talking about face-to-face, all right, there's several times I asked him. He couldn't come up with much, man. He talked about the one in his dreams. Well, I can't tell you. I mean, if that right there is not a red flag, you know what I'm saying? Even if you were on the Kool-Aid and you bought into this per se, well, he don't have nothing of substance, man, in his responses.
No,
I'm like, you can't help but think, man, this something don't sound right here. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's kind of. I was kind of fucking perplexed how a man of little education could get one over too.
Gosh almighty, it's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get. I mean, I don't have no degree, bro. I mean, I'm just a good old country boy.
Yeah.
That's been down a tough road. I'm clean now, praise God, and we're doing good. You know what I mean? Got a family, all is well. But just to see people get drugged down and it affects their lives. I mean,
it does.
You go out of your way to try to reach these people, and I give you kudos for that, man. And you're gonna, you know, however you're getting blessed for that. However you want to look at it, if nothing else, just to the other people you're affecting. You know, that means you care.
Like if this was
me,
me,
you're not just here to.
If this was me, I would hope somebody would try to help me. I really do, man. I really do. I hope if this was me, that there would be somebody on the other end like, hey, man, these guys are fucking you over. I really do. Like, I wouldn't want to be caught in a situation like this if I didn't know better. And I would be.
Bro, I mean, what was.
Go ahead. Bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What was there was on one of the survivors, if you will. But it was gosh, I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl, but there was a video on it, and I can't remember exactly which one. I've seen so many of them, but basically they left their family and weren't even talking to their family and everything. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's typical.
And several different people.
Oh no, that's a very typical practice in this cult, man. That's a very typical practice in this cult. That's what David does, is because you really think about it, your family, they're the ones that instilled the morals. They made you who you are. So David, what he does is he breaks down that family unit right away. You can't contact your family.
Right,
you're here on boot camp. You're here working. You're serving God here now. You know, you're working for the kingdom now. Your family doesn't matter. All that matters now is God. You know, and they start fucking drilling that into you. And eventually they strip you of your morals that have been instilled to you by the people that brought you up, your mother that fucking pushed you out of her womb. You know, like that's serious shit, man. Like your mother gave birth to you, and David has basically told you, fuck your family. Like, come on, cult members.
Yeah. And right. It's in meeting those other people that have fell for it too. So they're sitting around going, okay, I'm trying to find what my identity is in life. And you got all these other people that you kind of became friends with and close with, and they bought into it. So next thing you know, that becomes your identity. It's crazy, man. It's so sad.
Exactly.
So sad. I want to see them. I think it's aren't they in Michigan or something? What this is going on?
Yeah, I think
Taylor, Michigan. Does that sound right?
Yeah, most of it was going on up in Michigan. Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Man, I wish I could. I married, got 3 kids, got 2 grandbabies now. But I tell you what, man, if I didn't, bro, if it was me, if I was the Lone Ranger like I once was, and if I had access to see what the court dates were, I would show up, man, because I can't stand this stuff, man. The day in which we live in are tough alone, you know, and then seeing people like this do that, Oh gosh, man.
Yeah, Lavelle's got a good
Justice will
point.
be served in this case.
David's chance of winning this case
You
is
know?
like 3%.
Oh my gosh!
It's a very
You
low.
posted stuff about his bond hearing, and what was his attorney said? Yeah, he looks forward to fighting this. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Prosecution had all those text messages or whatnot. That's a wrap.
Yeah, it is.
Gosh almighty.
Like the allegations, right? Like, if there were just allegations, we wouldn't even be having this case.
Right.
They found
Exactly.
text messages. They found a trail. That's
Yeah.
why they arrested them. They're like, oh, we got a big problem here. We got a problem here.
Right, because the allegation been going on since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
You know it?
Mm-hmm.
And also we people that's in the box here, if you will. I don't think I don't think David will take the stand. What's your thoughts?
I think you will.
You think he will?
Fuck yeah.
Do you?
He's an ignorant prick. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. Yeah.
I wouldn't. You know the history better. You know the vibe better than I do. I'm kind of the new kid on the block, kind of looking at this stuff. But you know what really gets me also, and like this deposition stuff, he's just cool as a cucumber. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm sitting here getting fired up. You dirty piece of,
Yeah.
And he's just being. And look at his attorney will say you don't have to answer it, and he answers it anyway.
Yeah, like a dumb shit.
Who? Yeah, like a dumb shit. Who was the lady that? How'd the deposition come about? Is she like a prosecutor or what? What's that about?
She's a lawyer.
Who is she?
She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer.
Okay.
Everybody said she's a
Okay.
judge, but no, she's just a lawyer that was hired to do the deposition. That's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I got you. Okay.
Exactly, Lavelle.
You done your homework, man. These places, bro.
Lavelle
I'll tell
says,
you.
hey, Tyler, Lavelle says, when they bring in the trafficking attorney in to speak, her intelligence alone will crush his spirit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, it will, bro. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's so true.
Yeah, it is. Lindsay
Gosh,
Robertson.
I wish it was live, bro.
Yeah, Lindsay Robertson, when she goes in, dude, and they've already brought her onto the case. There's no telling what she's doing right now. And I think that's like the rush in this, like, dude, behind the scenes, these prosecutors, they're building a fucking story to tell the courts. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
They're building this criminal
Yeah.
enterprise to tell the court. They're going to open it all up, and the day it comes out to court, everybody's like, holy fucking shit.
Oh yeah. Going back for years.
Yep.
All those phone records. And wasn't there a
Dude.
mention there was like 10, they found like 10 phones or something?
6 in a safe. 6 of them in a safe.
6 in a safe?
Yep. Six.
Yeah.
David had 6 phones in his safe where he was at. Michelle was sitting on gold bars and cash. And then David, on top of the 6 phones they found in the safe, he had 3 on his person. And each of those phones, all of them had explicit images in them.
What a dirtball, man. And who would even find him attractive? You know what I'm saying? For him to go out here and womanize and this, that, and the other. I'm like, are you serious?
He
bro?
was a womanizer, bro. And okay, we were talking about his love scam last night, bro. Like, this fool was a perv, and
Yeah.
he used his status as an apostle to run a fucking full blown love scam on all these women, dude. If you really step back and take a look
That's
at it,
crazy.
he told all these women, "Oh, I'll
Uh-huh.
marry you, but keep it a big secret. I can't let anybody know," because he was out messing with other women. David,
That's like some Warren Jeffs shit, some polygamy stuff.
it
bro.
was like
You know it?
it was a revolving door. It was a revolving door of women for David.
That Vicky Yogi or whatnot. What I wonder if
Vicky.
she's something else too. And no, she's sitting on those videos knowing all that stuff was going on.
She knew.
And all of a sudden now she wants to come back. You know what I mean? It's you had taught us in your videos she about getting her Jaguar or whatever it was,
She
getting a
knew
little car driving around town.
She knew what was going on, man. She knew the whole fucking time. Can't tell me she didn't know what was going
That's
on.
terrible. Yeah, I mean how could you be okay with that? You know what I'm saying?
I would never be
just
okay with it.
man. And then she's, was she a Christian artist or something other?
Yeah, she's a Christian gospel singer. But once she went in with
Gospel
David,
singer, yeah.
once she got hooked up with David, like, her career took a shit.
Right.
So
That's a wrap.
yeah,
Oh right. Shit.
Yep.
There was a Mike. Is there a Mike Moore? Who is there a Moore? Wasn't he a pastor?
Oh,
Is
Matt
a pastor
Moore.
Or something?
Oh, Matt Moore. Yeah, he's part
Matt
of our
Moore.
group. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of your group. Yeah. I guess he has a history there of. I've done some research as well with you guys.
Well, David tried to scout
I
members
think
out
some
of
of his
Matt's
comments.
church. No, Matt, back in the day,
Uh-huh.
Matt had a church out in California, and David had went there and tried to take some of his members from him. And when Matt tried to just speak to David about it, that's how me and Matt got in touch. He saw the channel. He's like, hey, this is what was going on. And it was history from there. And he said, like, so when he tried to get to David, he's like, I couldn't get to talk to him. Like, it was hard. He was harder to get a hold of than the president. He was real hush hush about it. Like, you couldn't get close to him.
Well, I mean, God, it's so evil, bro. How does one sleep at night? And then I seen those text messages.
David,
the stuff, talking about they got to starve or they got to, meet this criteria. They, meet their goal and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the next level.
Yeah. David sleeps in his shit at night. I know that's how he sleeps because he doesn't wipe his ass. Michelle, she probably hangs upside down like a fucking vampire bat. That's what I think.
Yeah, and there was mention earlier in the podcast just a little bit ago about they think that she's talked to her son, which we think her son may be a part of the cult, if you will.
I know for a fact that her son is still part of the cult because I texted my source today asking if he was, and they said, "Yep, he sure is."
Yeah.
So
she's she's been talking to her son.
Yeah,
obviously,
of course
I
she
would,
has. Of course she
and
has.
the judge said you can't talk to anybody in the that's.
Yep. It's the judge
That's
said
within there.
yeah, the
That's
judge
right.
said you're going to have to make a decision. You can't associate with the church anymore. If your son's there, guess what? You can't associate with him. That's just how it's going to be. You can't be associated with the church anymore. If your son's there, guess what? You can't talk to him because he's associated with the church, and that would make you associating with him.
Right.
So the judge flat out told him, like, okay, you have to choose between the church and your mother.
Yeah, what's that right here? She can't be associated with the church anymore. Are you following this, Miss Brandon?
Yep.
Defendant, would she say, yes, Your Honor?
Yeah.
That was down there at the bottom. You highlighted it. Yeah.
And how the judge says it.
She's another one, bro.
Yep. How the judge says it. Continue. Whoever wants to continuing to associate with Miss Brennan needs to sever the relationship with this organization. And the reason I say that is because if they don't do that, they run the risk that Miss Brennan will either intentionally or inadvertently violate her conditions by communicating with individuals in that organization.
Yeah. Yeah, jeez, oh Pete. So like you said early on that they got her set up in a sense. We'll let you out, but there's reasoning for that, so they can dig a little deeper. They got her phones, all that stuff tapped.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to be
them out.
doing. That's what they're supposed to be doing is following her and making sure she follows the conditions of her bond. And I'm pretty sure she couldn't get free of the cult, or she's fucking living in a homeless shelter or something.
Right. Well, no means of income. That's where all her monies were coming from.
Yeah. And the judge flat out told her, it's not my business what you do after this. You can't have any association with this church. Doesn't matter if you're homeless or not.
Right.
My job is to set the conditions in terms of bond, Miss Brandon.
Uh-huh.
How you get money is up to you. You're a big girl. Figure it out.
Yeah. And that's been going on. When did they originally? So we seen the deposition was 2014, 2015. But do we know how long this church has even been going on?
30 years, man. About 30 years.
Crazy.
30 years.
And then him talking about he was supposedly he was 17 or 18 years old. And he was in a gang and drive-by shootings and all this bullshit, which is all bogus.
Well, they brought it all back up in court, so they must be taking it pretty serious.
I could have swore, and I messaged, and I posted this on one of your lives, and you had corrected. I could have swore he got in trouble way back when, though. There was something before he got No, damn, I don't know where I'm getting that from.
No, people. There's a lot of misinformation out there. saying that David got busted for drugs back in the day, but it's not true.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I came across something, but
yeah. No.
Well, I hope old Bubba in his little holding cell, whatever they got him, you know, they're still taking up those money. We're gonna put some money on the books or what? What's the dealio?
I don't know what's up.
And you know they got that phone line tap at the jail.
Yeah, they're listening to all his phone calls. Yeah, they're listening to all his phone calls. Hell yeah. I already tried to get the FOIA on those, man, and I couldn't. I'm still gonna try though. My buddy.
Get his inmate number.
Well, no, one of the guys from the channel, he's like, you just got to know who to talk to. He's like, you can get those records out of Michigan though. He's like, give me some time. I'll find out who you got to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Murdoch case and stuff. I remember somebody was able to get a bunch of their phone calls and play. I followed that for a season. I get caught up in these court cases. I guess it's my criminal background where I've been in trouble myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an illness or not, but I always find a court case or something going on and I can't get interested in it, and I follow it to see it all the way through. And this one here is one we're definitely following.
This one's pretty intense, dude, because it was a church.
Yeah. And you've been trying to sink this shit for a long time.
Just trying to warn people about it, bro. Let people make their own decision. But for whatever reason.
Almighty.
Yeah, it's again, we always say we only know the tip of the iceberg in this, and I still say to this day, we'll never know how fucked up David left everybody. Like, there's people out there that we don't know about that David crossed paths with.
Right. That's right.
I know that is
absolutely.
A fact. There's probably women out there.
Just the way we were created, bro. Just the way we created, regardless if one's a believer or not believer, here nor there. Just the way we were created. We know right and wrong.
Yep.
When I do somebody wrong, man, regardless of just if it's something small, man, I'll think about it when I go to bed at night. You know what I mean? I may toss and turn because I know it just wasn't the right thing to do. How does people like him be okay with that, man? I don't get it. How's people wired that way?
I don't know. It's
crazy.
It is. It's like a switch, man. Like, this is a psychosis switch, I think. Like, David's psychotic in a sense. Because if he was truly Christian, he would have done this to people, bro. Christians don't do this to people.
Yeah.
Real Christians,
absolutely
true
not.
Followers, true believers in God,
right?
Don't do this to people.
Nope. The first thing they be talking about is, you know, how much money you're going to give. I watch the little clips, man. I can't help myself. You know, I turn it, watch it. My wife's, what are you watching? Oh, that David E. Taylor guy. Gosh, you need to stop watching it. Like every night, bro. I'll watch something different. Whether I'm sitting in here chiming in on yours or listening to your stuff, every night, man. Every night. I don't know. I'm waiting. I want to see that ship sink.
I do too. I always tell people, for me, it was never about the money. It was about showing society what you can do. Hey, what's up, Larry Lunsford? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. It's, if you do it the right way, you can really bring down an organization like this. You just have to go about it the right way. Bureaucratic means, right? David fucking bet on getting out. Nobody's going to touch him because he was at church. No, he's wrong.
Right.
We found out he was victimizing people, and you can't do that in a church. That's a crime. You can't fucking hurt people, call yourself an apostle and say, oh, it's all in the name of God, fucking Sonny Jesus. Eat my asshole and call me fucking Frankie. Fuck that. Yeah. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't mask abuse with religion. That's what David did. That's what a lot of these fucking social media prophets are doing. Masking abuse with religion. Calling, oh, he's my armor bearer. No, that's my fucking slave right there, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's my armor bearer. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And again, that deposition, he didn't have answers for shit.
No.
I mean, he was just ducking and dodging. I mean, so any people that was followers way back when, I'm like, seriously, folks? I mean, this deposition here, all the shit he's given, just dancing around.
Yeah.
It's, gosh almighty.
Yeah.
They blocked me though, man. I'll chime in on his live, you know, when he's having a service or whatnot. I'll chime in, and then I'll log out. Like, not log out. I'll come off the channel and then go back on it to see if my thing's still posted.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah. They blocked.
So somebody's monitoring it.
Yeah, no, they block any kind of opposition. They always will. They always have. They always will. That's what they do because David's the all too fucking all-knowing eye. Oh, excuse me.
What a piece, man.
Yeah, it had David ran his scams.
And then Joey.
Oh, Joseph?
Oh, Joseph Bush, man. Bro, I would chuck that dude. I can't stand people like him, man.
Oh, he vanished.
stand
That
people
fool
like-
fucking vanished. Dude, that guy fucking just Joseph, he fucking vanished.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, nobody's seen him.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure. If I was him, I'd be vanishing too, right?
Yep, I'd be out.
Yeah.
I'd be out of town and be like, I'm out of here. I'm fucking disappearing. Like for Joseph, the best.
Yeah, because he was just a crony, you know. He was just getting thrown breadcrumbs, you know.
Yep. The best thing for Joseph would be go live on the street homeless right now. That way nobody could ever find him. Just get rid of his phone and go live on the street as a bum. That way he can never be busted by the FBI because I firmly believe he's going to fucking get charges brought up on him.
Absolutely. Because old David, he's going to be deflecting everything. And Michelle. So he's right in that line.
That's, you think,
do
you think, how many of y'all think he's going to point the finger at Michelle?
David?
Yeah, I think he will. He's going to point the finger at Michelle.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything he can. And then, so the big question is, which I would assume, but then again, we're seeing all this clown show. Who knows? But she would be saying, well, again, it came from David. But, did he strong arm you or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you do it? Was he holding a gun to your head, Miss Brandon? Well, no. Then why did you do it?
Right. Exactly.
Why did you do it, Miss Brandon?
Yeah.
If he wasn't physically forcing you to do it, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you, Miss Brandon, there's text messages sent to you where you were forcing these people. People have to eat, right? Well, yeah. Okay, then why were you forcing them to not eat a normal diet? Oh, well, Apostle told me to. Well, do you know that people need to eat? Yeah. Okay, well, why did you do that?
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, I just got my company came home. Dogs are going to start barking. But, hey, man, I appreciate you taking my call and checking in. And I'll talk to you soon. I'll look for some updates as we go. And thanks for taking my call, man.
Appreciate you, Tyler.
Appreciate you, Rich.
Good night, brother.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you, bye. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tyler Durden. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you calling in, giving your 2 cents. Appreciate you. Yeah, Michael. Had David ran his scams in the business world, he'd been arrested years ago. But you do it as a church. It's all cool.
Yeah, well, we had
out of where?
Out of our building. They wanted to get a bigger place. So, but for about 6 years, we housed a food bank.
Hold on a sec.
Okay,
food bank moved out of your building. What building are you talking about?
Oh, Taylor.
Taylor.
Here in Taylor, yes.
So there was a food bank.
Yes.
In what building?
In the Taylor building, on Superior Road. But it's no longer there. But those are the kind of services she would do, where she would help. Our ministry would join with them. Like I say,
And you know what, Lavelle? Michelle's in a real funny situation too, because if she turns on David, the cult's going to turn on her.
let the building out to different ministries to do multiple things. So they would
For free?
Yes, for free.
Okay, so there was a food bank, and you're saying that Deborah Frazier worked at the food bank?
She helped some. She didn't just work all the time, but that's the kind of work that she would do.
When did the food bank leave?
When was that? Earlier this year. They went to try to get a bigger place, I guess.
What was it called? Food bank?
That's the name they used. That's the name they used. So I don't.
They have a sign that said food bank?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Do you know or not know?
I just don't. I'm not really sure. All I know is that that's the common word that they would use, and and they would bring gleaners in, 18-wheeler truck, and just feed hundreds of families.
Do you know what agency was involved in this? Who organized the food
bank? It was
bank?
a ministry that was connected with us, so I don't have all that information.
Well, when somebody comes to you and says, can we use part of your building to feed the poor, do you ask who they are?
Of course.
Okay, and who were these folks?
He's like, of course we do, but I don't know who they are.
Folks.
Of course I do.
They were a ministry that...
We always ask, but they're a ministry that I don't know about.
Came in, they were more so feeding the poor.
Right, but by what name were they known?
Okay, see, they, I don't know. They didn't go by a name like that.
We always ask the name, but they didn't go by a name like that, Your Honor. Well, I don't know. Let me go change my pad and let me come back and think about it.
I know they were established and incorporated. I could just tell you their names as individuals, but their organization, we were really covering them and supporting that and helping that.
Okay.
What do you mean you were covering them?
Well, they needed a place to do that out of and a place to bring the 18-wheeler to feed many people.
You said they were incorporated?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But their name, yes. But their name, I don't know their name. I don't know their official name. I just know it was a ministry team, and they were doing this work.
Okay, when Miss...
And what's it say in the Bible, Sue? Pride comes before destruction, right? And David's a prideful little prick. Yep. Came and we're throwing packaged peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the cells like footballs. Good, I hope David gets some packaged peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Frazier goes to St. Louis. What does she do for you or the ministry or whoever?
Well, when she goes to St. Louis, she works in the crusades. Like if I'm having a service there, she...
I know, what if David flips it and be like, it was all Michelle's fault and she corrupted me. She made me corrupt, Your Honor. It was her fault. It was all Miss Brandon's fault. What if... Michael H. Long, what if David flips the whole script and he walks and Michelle gets 25 to life? Oh, shit. What if Michelle, right? What if Michelle is the architect of the whole operation? Oh, shit. That would be the dopest, right? Like the feds finally get all the messages and be like, oh shit, Michelle was the whole brains of this operation. Like, look, she actually fucking was a shithead to David. Yeah, David might want to pay for isolation instead of Gen Pop. No, they'll class him accordingly. David will go on the pedo yard though. David will go on the pedo yard. Because yeah, anyways.
Ushers.
Where would this physically be?
The crusade?
Right.
At a friend of mine, a bishop's church, who has a large facility in the suburb.
In the suburb?
Mm-hmm.
What city?
Florissant, Missouri.
Can you spell that again?
Florissant.
What's the bishop's name?
A Bishop
Facts for Malin. Michelle was definitely the fucking Ghislaine Brannon of this operation, bro. Yeah. And you know what, Rimalin? That's what my mom asked me. Dude, Rimalin, when I was talking to my mom about this, she's all rich. Was this like similar to like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? I was like, yeah, but it was a church. She's like, really? And I started telling her about it. She's like, that's fucking disgusting. I was like, tell me about it. Tell me about it, Mom. Dude, my mom hit it dead on. She's like, is this like Jeffrey Epstein? I was like, oh yeah. It's right up there, but I was like, they were doing it under like public donations and shit. They were like, it's like, this is like the Temu version. Like this is the Temu fucking Jeffrey and Ghislaine. It's like if Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were like fucking some Temu fucking white trash preachers, that's what they would be, is David and Michelle. So yeah. Michelle was definitely in on this. She knew what was going on, man. Hey, Rim Allen. Hey, Rim Allen. You know what's funny is because she even says, she even snitches on herself in her own fucking text messages and emails. Dude, Michelle straight says, I know what the fuck is going on here. Don't send this shit, okay? Because this is discoverable. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, man. I know. What if David was actually in Shutaway because he was scared of Michelle? David was actually hiding from Michelle. He's playing hide and seek from Michelle. But no, David wasn't going to let that gold far from him. There's no way. Yeah. It's like, hey, incompetent criminality 101. Just follow David E. Taylor and Michelle Brannon. Put everything in text messages, emails, keep records, everything. Keep records. That's what you do. David, I'm going to keep a lot of records. Not only that, I'm going to keep emails, text messages. I'm going to keep 6 phones locked in a safe. That way, when the feds find it, it looks super, super fucking suspicious. That and fucking depleting the world of the maxi pad supply. Lavelle, Israel. Those are the two talents he has, is running his mouth and depleting the world of maxi pads. And then being a dumbass criminal. That's one of his other talents, is being a stupid fucking criminal, man. Oh my God. Him and Michelle both. This is how perverted they both were. They were so fucking dumb. Michelle didn't think that text, like, deleting. It's like, come on, man. Oh my God. Oh, Michelle even said, like, oh, don't put this in emails because it's discoverable. How fucking dumb can you be? Don't put anything in an email or a text message, because once it's there, it's there. All they got to do, all the feds need to do is get a subpoena from Google or from the courts and go to Google. He pointed his finger at her over a decade ago with no problem. Yeah. But Megan Fitzgerald, you know what's so dope about this? Is this proves that Michelle knew what she was doing. This proves Michelle knew what she was doing. I mean, how is she going to defend this in court? I know, right? Right, Rimel? I'm getting a hard lesson in tech privacy. It's fucking funny, right? Nice little lesson, huh? Fucking crash course, homie. Dude, I'm the same age as him, and I know about this shit. I don't know how they couldn't. I don't know how nobody knows. If you don't know that your shit's hey, if you don't know that your shit, even if, let's say, okay, check this out. Say you even delete and you fucking get rid of your phone. All right, check this shit out. What the feds will do, okay, because the first thing feds do nowadays is ask for your phone typically, okay? Anytime there's a crime committed, the first thing the cops do, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. We're going to do a phone dump. We're going to track all your data. It's a lot better when they have the phone. But when it comes to retrieving like text messages and shit like that, like with this, all they would have had to do was go to the phone company with a warrant from the fucking government. We have a warrant. Give us all the text messages for this phone number right here. From every fucking number that it sent text messages to. And the phone company be like, okay, bam, here you go. We're fucking printing it up. We can send it to you on a drive. How would you guys like it? And a lot of phone companies are cooperating with the FBI when it comes down to shit like this. Yeah, they're committing crimes. What do you need? Apple's a big one. Apple's one of the bigger ones that is cooperating with the government when it comes down to crimes. And I absolutely think that should happen. If you're using your phone to commit a crime, guess what? The fucking phone companies, if you don't report a crime that's happening, but don't commit a crime on a phone. Don't do it. Don't do it, all right? Because they will catch you. You could destroy your phone, but all the fucking feds got to do is go to the phone company with a fucking federal warrant, be like, give us all the information on this phone. And I'm pretty sure, I think they can even get pictures. I don't know. Like, but with David, these parts when he tried to act helpful and spoke and soft spoken made me sick. Yeah. Megan, look at when he sent out this message right here. 7 days before the raid, he sent this message out to the cult members. They're not going to let him out. They won't let this asshole out. There's no fucking way. Yeah. Yep. Every online service collects data. Windows 11 takes a screenshot of your desktop every few seconds. It is. It's like our data is constantly being harvested. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude. Mm-hmm. Yep. Logged, man. Mm-hmm. Every time you say go, Internal Revenue Service, guess what that just did on my internet provider side? Bam, it created a timestamp. Rich Holmes went to the irs.gov website at 8:32 p.m. Central Time on 12/17/2025. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So David, well, yeah. Freedom isn't free, right? Lavelle, I don't call it a police state. I just say freedom isn't free. Right? Had we not had little things like, say, federal wiretaps and shit like that, we wouldn't be able to access information about how David was being such a degenerate fucking sick fuck. Freedom's not free, everybody. Men have died for freedom. Okay? So if you think freedom's free, I'd check your history real fucking fast, okay? Because it ain't. It's more valuable than any fucking thing you can have in your life, your freedom. David's learning that the hard fucking way right now. Mr. fucking, I'm so fucking gangster hard. Fucking now let me out of prison because I'm fucking whining like a little bitch. You want a private phone? Buy a Google Pixel phone, install Graphene OS. Yeah. I know. Michelle's like, just the tip, Apostle, okay? So yeah, if we didn't have like wiretaps and stuff, we wouldn't be able to get to people like David. And this is how feds build their case. This is how FBI build their cases. Even back in the day, they're doing wiretaps, fucking surveillance. The feds still do that shit. That's how they build cases. That's how they build cases against organizations like that. They go out and do grunt work, man. It still takes grunt work to do this. It still takes grunt work, you guys. It's not, they still got to go out and do fucking field work, man. This is part of it. This opening up these phones and shit, like going through all this evidence, this is going to be field work. Because now they're cracking open phones, actually downloading evidence and doing more field work. It's going to be office work, but it'll still be field work. Because these were part of the fucking, of the bust and the investigation is phones. Fuck. And that's going to be hours of people going through phones, man. Probably hundreds of hours, man, of people just going through phones. Hundreds of man hours. Say, figure fucking, I don't even know, man. Holy shit. Like the amount of phones that they found within this organization too. Fuck. They have their work cut out for them. We won't see a trial for a couple years, probably, you guys. And if that's the case, the longer it takes, the better it is. If David pleads out, okay, cool, Bishop, plead out. But I don't think he will. He wants to fight it. Michelle said it was going to be his tip. Yeah. All right. I mean, this was what David and Michelle did. This is as bad as it gets, everybody. And people always said, "Hey, man, you think there could be like bodies attached to this place?" And there could be, but I don't know if David was that smart to ever put a hit out on anybody and actually follow through with it. But it would have surprised me. It wouldn't surprise me. But this whole organization, Michelle and David, they literally fucking laid out a yellow brick road for the FBI, man. Once the feds had all this information, I mean, cult members, really, this is something that David is making you guys do, is go live on the streets if you didn't make him enough money. Like, it's fucked up. You know, this is not normal, right? For all the members that could still be there, do you know what David was doing to you was not normal behavior? That is not normal of a pastor to do that to you. That's the worst type of behavior we've ever heard of, actually. I'm not even Christian, and that shit's fucked up. Oh, well, you don't understand our laws, Rich Holmes. Well, I understand when people are being assholes to other people. And David forcing you guys out on the street when the numbers are low. That happened. That happened, Megan. It happened multiple times where people weren't allowed. Medical deprivation is part of it, Megan. Medical deprivation is one of the things that was mentioned in the government proffer about David's cult, is depriving them of any kind of medical fucking care that they needed. That's true. Very true. Medical deprivation, it's a real thing. That's part of trafficking. Medical deprivation, food deprivation, date brokers, data brokers are not known for security. They get hacked a lot. Oh yeah. Nah, they're all fucked, Megan. Yeah. No, David's fucked. They found 6 cell phones in a safe, plus 3 on him, plus these text messages that the government. This is how the government is responding to the defense. Whatever they say, they're trying to get David out. They just drop the government more text message. They just drop him more text messages. Be like, we have his text messages. He's not getting out. This was 7 days before the raid. This shows that he had no intentions of changing his ways. Seeing this text message is real damaging. 7 days before the raid. A week before the raid, David was fucking being an asshole to everybody. He could have changed his ways and he didn't. He continued on being a fucking degenerate asswipe. And look where he's at now. Because he's a fucking perverted little fucking pig. What's even shittier about it is we reported his organization to YouTube that it was a scam and that people were in danger, and it was very true, and YouTube still hasn't taken his fucking channel down yet. Fucked up. YouTube still hasn't taken his channel down yet. Even though he was legitimately abusing people and his channel was the catalyst for it. It's where he was able to run his operation. Yeah, I never heard of anybody being brought back to life by David. Quite the opposite, actually. Nope. Exactly right, Megan. David's right where he fucking belongs, man. David doesn't belong anywhere else except behind fucking bars and solitary. And I hope that's where they have him. Right? In solitary confinement, man. AdSeg. All by himself. All by himself. David being all by himself is like This is just as good as everybody leaving David. But even better, it's like everybody left David and then the government put him in jail. Yeah, a man died at the church and he didn't revive him. Why would he? David's not a doctor. Yep. People have died in this cult. Yeah. Yeah, see, Rib Ballot, and that's something. Fuck, when I write this paper about spiritual sadism, that's going to be a part of it. Like how these fuckers use that status saying they can heal people, and people either they stop taking their medication because they're told to, or they stop taking it because they legitimately believe they've been healed of these chronic health conditions. I can't send him anything. And even then, I don't even know if I'll be able to go visit him because you have to be on the visitor list and stuff. So even then, like, once David is locked up, once he's in jail and locked up, that's the end of this. That's the end of this, man. That was end of story. Locked up, prison, jail time, serving a sentence for fucking everybody over, thinking he was better, thought he was going to get away with everything, laundering the money, forced labor, human trafficking, conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit fraud. David thought he was smarter than everybody. And all the cult members that are still there, he literally called you guys degenerates because you didn't make him enough money while he wasn't paying you. Yeah, Rim Allen, I think Catherine knows what the fuck she's doing. And you're never coming around. Rim Allen, I think Catherine knows exactly what she's doing, that little cunt. I don't like her. I can't stand her. She knows exactly what she's doing. Dude, David and Catherine, they're not Christian, bro. They are not Christian. And I don't even think they fucking believe in God. Why would they? Dude, they did all this shit for years and Catherine's still doing it. David did this for 30 years and thought it was all good and cool. And it's like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and run this fucking huge scam, and just hope nobody catches on to it. But man, once he got a phone, once he got a phone, shit. If she didn't, she's out there causing real harm. Yeah. No, you're right. It is. It's life and death with some of these places, man. I'm with you, Rim Allen. Life and death. And again, she's breaking up marriages, dude. That's enough to piss any fucking dude off. That's enough to piss any dude off. Right, Soups? Right? I want to stick my head in the fucking microwave. When I listen to Catherine, I only do it with the community. That's the only way most of us could tolerate that psycho is together. For real, watching her alone, you're like, shut the fuck up, Catherine. You're like, God, does she ever shut up? I know I don't shut up, but she's a different kind of shut up. She never just fucking hushes her fucking pie hole, man. God. Michelle, if you are out and you are watching this, but I don't know where you're at. I hope you're locked up. I hope it was all worth it, Michelle. I'm going to go and start wrapping it up, man. I'm really tired. I had an infused meal this evening. It was really good. I had breakfast for dinner. I had my breakfast for dinner tonight, and I made my eggs with some infused butter, and I feel really good right now. Like I could go to sleep and sleep all fucking night. But cult members, I'm gonna go and wrap it up here, guys. The remaining members of this cult, all right, listen up. All right. David is a fucking pervert, all right? I don't know how much more clear we can be about that. I mean, all the women in there, I mean, the Klein sisters, Kathleen, all of you women in there, okay? If you sent a picture over to David, it's because he's a fucking pervert. And he used his position as the so-called Pontiff to carry out his perversions of this cult. And he could do anything he wanted to because everybody thought he was this apostle, and he's not. David is just a man. What kind of plea deal could he get if he decided to not roll the dice? Dude, I don't know. Marketing slime? Dude, I think they want to make an example out of David. I think the government's going to try to set an example of how churches aren't allowed to be run in America. This was unprecedented, man. This had never happened. This never happened before. This never happened. And now it has. And now the government's like, fuck, we got a problem here. Like how many other churches are doing this? That's the question the government's probably asking now. Well, how many other fucking churches are doing this that we don't know about? This is just one, and look at how fucking extensive it was. There's a big problem here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, David's a next level loser, ladies. Seriously, all you ladies get out, all right? Men too, get out. Get out. David's a full-blown pervert. And he did it while emasculating you and fucking up your lives, man. The men in there, trust me, just get out, all right? Get out. There's nothing left there for you guys that will be beneficial to your life anymore. Nothing. There's nothing there. Exactly. Where are all these other pastors commenting on David's situation? None of them are. None of them, because they all know he's a fucking sack of shit. They all know he was full of shit the whole time. I don't see, hey, cult members, hey, where's Richard fucking T. Jones at? I don't see Richard T. Jones coming to fucking help David. Where's all these famous people? Huh? That's right, because nobody's coming to help David. You know why? Because everybody knew he was full of shit. Nobody's going to help him now. They're going to let him rot in that fucking cell, as he should. Exactly. David made it bad for every pastor trying to do good, and he really fucking did. David is going to be responsible for turning a lot of people away from God. And cult members, it's his fucking fault. It's his fault. He did, Soups. He did. He made it bad for a lot of people. Y'all may not see it that way. Soups has a damn fine point. He did. David made it bad for a lot of people. Really, think about this, cult members. Cult members, really think about this. David and Michelle will most likely be responsible for being the catalyst to change church tax laws in America. Who's David going to blame then? Jesus? It was Jesus' fault that the tax laws got changed in America, not mine. They should call this the Tax Michelle law. The Tax Michelle. Instead of Axe Michelle, they can call it Tax Michelle. And it has to do, it's a church reform law. Church tax reform law. It's called the Tax Michelle Church Reform Law, where all churches are now taxed under a standard business rate of 8% across the board. 8% flat rate. 8%. That's what they get taxed. 8%, bam, straight across the board. No whining, no bitching. I mean, I think they should be taxed more, but even 10% could be pretty nice. Like, they should be giving back 10%. But if any members still need help out, okay, there are ways out. You can call human trafficking hotline. You can call the local police. But we are here to help you guys still. This case is still very fluid. We're still learning a lot of stuff about it day to day. We knew it would end eventually. We knew this would end eventually. There's just time, patience. We knew what David and this cult was up to, man. And that's why we stuck with it for so long. Because we knew it wasn't just going to take like a couple weeks of doing this. This was a process, man. Now, in closing, all you other little fucking perverted fucking prophets out there calling yourselves pastors and fucking evangelists and all this other crazy shit and prophets and apostles. Fucking the day of reckoning has come, y'all. Y'all are going to cut this crap out. You know why? Because we're here and we're not going to let you do that anymore. Daniel Adams, Saldivar, Signorelli, all you little shit stains out there doing this. Yeah, where's Benny Hinn at? Exactly. Where's Greg Locke? Where's Richard Roberts, huh? Huh? Where do you see fucking Richard Roberts at? I don't see fucking Farad Aziz. What's his name? Azia Farad or whatever. Where's he at? Don't see any of these guys, right, David? No? So yeah, any of you fucking Christian scammers out there, we're watching you real fucking close, man. And if we pick up your fucking trail, which pray we fucking don't, all right? Because if we do, we're going to go to the ends to make sure you're shut down, okay? Don't give a fuck who you are. Whatever fucking organization you belong to, I don't care. I definitely don't give a fuck. What's Bishop George Scott? Fucking crypt keeper. Huh. He's at the crypt. Yeah. George Scott took a bailout too, right, Soups? Mm-hmm. George Scott's like, see ya. Good luck, David. You know what, Soups? It seemed like he was one of the first ones to skip out before Joseph. George is like, I'm out of here. See you guys. I'm out. Well, Soups, let me tell you something. I found out from another pastor that knows George Scott. Long story short, George Scott's broke. That's what this other pastor told me, that George Scott's a fucking broke-ass little punk. I was like, good. I asked him, I was like, so where's he at now? He's like, trying to figure out where he's going to get his next paycheck. That was that pastor's response. I was like, so where's he at now? He's like, trying to figure out his next paycheck. Yeah, he did. He tiptoed out like a KOGGC member. Yep. Yeah, he did. That's the way he said it. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, no. He's like, for real, George Scott. He's like, he's always been lazy. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any fucking money. Like, he was basically bouncing around church to church, like trying to clean out churches and shit. Yeah. But yeah, this guy told me, and it was a pastor I'd warned. It was a pastor I warned and told him, hey, just George Scott. Hey, Sketch, I'm just about to wrap it up. I was going to wrap it up fucking minutes ago, but it always happens. Yeah, George told David, see ya, out of here. And I knew that would happen. Once David was no more beneficial to George Scott, he would dip out. Nah, we're just talking how like David's the perverted pontiff. Yeah. Yeah, how David was just this perverted fucking sack of shit, Sketch. Like his whole theology, everything about his organization was perverted. Everything about it. The money, the power system, the theology, everything. And the system, our government allowed this man to get away with it. even after reporting him fucking multiple times. Our government still let him go on. But I'm hoping with this sketch that there's going to be tax reform now. And to the cult members out there that are still in it, again, when you go to bed at night, just think that David and Michelle are possibly going to be responsible for tax reform in the church, okay? Because of what they did. So that being said, this is a cult of perversion, and David was the leader of it. So was Michelle, and they both deserve to fucking serve just equal amount of time as the other person. He's in jail still, Valerie Fisher. Hell yeah, he is. David's not getting out of jail, Valerie Fisher. I promise you that. No, he's not getting out, Valerie. No. No. Yeah. No, I am. I want to jump off here, sketch, because I'm like super tired. I had an infused meal earlier. I had some really good can butter, and I had breakfast for dinner tonight. I had pork chops and eggs with biscuits and honey, and it was like so good. I wanted to have it for breakfast. And but no, I had that for dinner tonight, man, and I'm ready to go belly up. I'm ready to take the dogs out, put them to bed, and go to sleep. Yeah. No, actually, Lavelle, negative. Josh got a job. Okay. I won't say where he works, but I know where he works. And the G-Wagon, the G-Wagon is still parked at the carport down in Houston. No word on Michelle's appearance yet. Not yet. We're still waiting, sketch. Yeah, we're still waiting. But no, Lavelle, the G-Wagon is still down in Houston parked. It's been in the same spot since they put it there, bro. No, that thing hasn't fucking moved, bro. Nope. Yeah, nothing, sketch. No, we're still waiting, man. My sources said she got nabbed up, man. I don't know. We'll see. If she did get nabbed up, I think she could be playing the sick card. Oh my, the state in my heart. I just don't feel good still. I don't feel good. I can't go back to jail because, ow, ooh, That's Michelle. She'd play the fucking hypochondriac card to the fucking T if she knew she was going back to jail. That's just what I think. Y'all have a good night, man. Catch you guys on the next stream, and figure out what we'll talk about next time. But that's her MO, right, Soups? I knew it. She'll play fucking hypochondriac. I knew it. She would play the hype when the shit hit the fan. The state in my heart. No, David's son is not in Houston anymore. No.